Hello, family. How is everyone doing? I pray that everyone is well. I'm going to get right into this video. This is a warning video and specifically aimed at my family and those who are listening in the UK, but more so, I would say, around London um, and like the surrounding areas of London. So, this is actually going to be a dream and a vision. And the first one is the most recent one, which was on the 23rd of March. And then the other one was on the 7th of March. And I believe in some way they are related because some of the things that I was doing or that I was led to do in the vision I was given on the 23rd of March were very similar to that which I was given on the 7th of March. So please listen well, take this back to Abba Yahweh, pray on it, asking for direction and guidance on it. There's some things in here which may be specifically for me personally. However, because of the I would say because of the situation that I felt and that I found myself in and what was happening around us with my daughter and I, and the fact that it was shown to me, this isn't the first time I've seen this, although you'll see that in the vision, I just kind of, it's like I record it, that I was shown it before, but then it was like, okay, now it's actually happening. So I think it is very, very important. And I'm putting this out there like quickly because it just felt so now, if that makes sense. It felt like a now thing, not like a future, timeline thing, but maybe a close future, but nothing like, it didn't feel like, again, I'm just talking about what it felt like. It didn't feel like it was far away. So this is a warning. I am putting this out as a warning to warn those who want to hear, those who have ears, let them hear. And maybe Yah has been speaking to you about similar things, but here it goes. So this is the vision that I had on the 23rd of the 3rd. And this was like in the morning around 6. So between 6 o'clock and 6 a.m. and 6:30, 6:40, somewhere around there. Because I remember the last time when I got up, I remember looking at the clock and it was just after 6. So, and then when I kind of came out of it and I was kind of just obviously praying and thinking about what I saw. And once I kind of got out of the fact that, oh, that actually didn't happen, it was a vision. But by the time I looked at the time, it was like 6:47 or something like that. So anyway, so right, let's just get right into it. I'm going to go from what I remember, okay? So Kimura and I got ready and we're heading out to central London. Now, I do not live in London anymore. I live outside of London. I live basically near Luton, okay? I'm in Harpenden, so I'm not in London anymore. And to be honest with you, I don't like going to London that much. I just can't deal with London. And I know you guys have seen so many things on YouTube about, the kind of the things that are happening in London and, in like this, the central area. So I try to avoid going there as much as possible. But for whatever reason, my girl and I were going there. And we walk outside and we see a man and his son. And we're talking to them, and then also we see a lady and we're also talking to her, and it's like we're all walking in the same direction. Then all of a sudden I start hearing like loud whistling, like, or not whistling, but more like a sustained whistle. Suddenly I hear a loud whistle, and then in front of me I see what looked like, it was like three sections. It looked like a dome, and then 3 sections. And within those 3 sections, one was above, then there was a middle one, and there was a lower one. There were different cities. And the one on the top was central London. And I see this bomb come and it hits central London. Nothing happened to the other cities, but the other cities were unknown. I don't know what those other cities were, but they were different cities. And this thing comes and it hits central London. And the minute it hits, I start shouting. Everybody, I've stopped reading the thing. I'm just trying to go memory. Susan see bomb hit first place, which is central London. I shout for everyone to get back home into their houses. Now, it was almost as if I saw it just before it happened, so that we were able to get back in time at home, get back home in time before we were hit with that wave, right? You know, when the bomb hits and that wave that comes, it's like we got back in time just before we got hit with that wave. And so I run home with my little girl, and the man and the boy, they run, and also the woman, they run, right? And then we get back home. So next thing, we're at home, we're in our house. And as we're in the home and in the house, first thing I do is I'm like, okay, we're going to close all the windows and all the vents. At our new property where we are now, most of the windows, even the bedrooms, they have like these little vents. So it's like we have to close the windows, but also close the vents. So I'm going around the house, you know, closing the windows and obviously, of course, making sure that all the vents are closed. Now, what happens just before that or along with that, I'm speaking to my daughter and I'm telling her, oh my goodness, Kimora, like I realized that what just happened exactly the way Yahweh had shown it to me previously in the dream. And I was able to recall the dream in that as I was in the vision, recall it. And I'm like, then I start recalling the dream and I start seeing literally the man and the boy, and the woman. So I'm telling her, Kimura, like it happened exactly, and I mean exactly, down to seeing. I mean the three cities, and then seeing the bomb come down and hit, and then I shout, "Everybody go home!" And that's what I can remember of that dream. And I was so shocked as to the fact that it happened exactly the way he had previously shown it to me. Now, I want to say this before I carry on. When I tell you that I was there, that this thing was happening to me, a part of me was waiting to like wake up and be like, oh, it's a dream. But after we were home closing all the windows and I wasn't waking up, I was like, oh, this is happening. It was like the dream I had before was a warning, and now it is happening. When I tell you that when I came out of this vision, I was shocked to find myself lying in my bed, just looking around, nothing has happened. I would swear to you that this thing happened. So I'm showing you and letting you know how vivid it was. This is no joke. How vivid it was. This thing happened. Excuse me. Please excuse me. Excuse me. So sorry about that, guys. Excuse me. And I know I got the mic on as well, so I'm sorry if that's really loud. I just want to really, really emphasize that. And so I was telling my daughter, she was like, oh yeah, I'm actually surprised that you're not saying that it's a dream, because, you know, a part of me is waiting for you to be like, oh, and then I woke up and then it's a dream. And I'm like, no, baby girl, it's not a dream. It has happened. It's interesting that she was saying that because, again, she was there with me, obviously, in the vision. So I believe obviously there's something there for me anyway. Oh, another one's coming. Excuse me. All right, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Right, let's carry on before I start having a sneezing fit. So I tell her, yeah, it's happened exactly as he showed me before. Excuse me. Excuse me, and thank you for those who were saying bless you. So we go around and we are, closing the windows and closing everything. And then it turns out that we are now at my mum's house. So my childhood home in London, in central, well, yes, Swiss Cottage. So it's pretty much central London, kind of, not central, but you know what I mean. Anywho, so then we're in the house, and then the doorbell rings, and I go and open the door. And as I open the door, again, it's my mum's house. It's the door. It's the front garden. When I look across the street, it's what it looks like. The only difference was next to the house there seemed to be that place had been hit, which now also refers back to the dream that I had on the 7th, which again I'll tell you about. And then across the street I could see like fire. But this man comes up and he starts talking about people are saying, talking about who's responsible. And I remember that when I was at some point listening to the news or hearing the news, they weren't sure if it was Russia or Iran that had bombed it. Everyone was like, oh, Russia or Iran, they've bombed central London. And the atmosphere was that these things are happening, just like in the dream on the 7th, that these things are happening outside of us, and we really don't expect them to hit us, but they actually do hit us, right? That was also the atmosphere in the vision. This man comes up and he's like, hello, my name is David. And I'm like, oh, hello, David. And he's very charming. He's a charming fellow, British. He had that, like really deep British accent in like with old English, right? Just like those posh people, how the posh speak. It was like that. Then all of a sudden there's a few more people with him. And with him there's all different men. Oh, I'm gonna say it again. There's different men, and there's also like a group of children. And so they asked me, oh, are you by yourself? Or, is it just you here? And I was like, yep, it's just me and my daughter. And he's kind of peering in, but also it's like they're making their way into the house. Now, what I felt in the vision was that, oh, they're trying to come in here to force inscription, right? To see if there's any men here, because now that this thing has hit, they're gonna force inscription. That's what I felt in the vision. So I'm like, yeah, you can come in because there's no men here. It was just Kimura and I. So they come in and they start walking towards the kitchen. Kimura and I kind of just keep standing in the hallway. They walk to the kitchen, and as they're going to the kitchen, David's asking me, oh, so where are you from originally? And I'm like, oh, I'm from Uganda. He's like, oh, amazing. I love Uganda. I've been to Uganda. Oh, and also Kenya. I really love, Nairobi. Again, he was a very friendly chap, very lovely, very charming, right? And they go to the kitchen, and then it's like, all of them are like, they're in the kitchen, but a bunch of them are like blocking the door. So I can't see what's happening in the kitchen. So I have no idea what is happening in the kitchen. They then come out, and at this time there was somebody in the front room, but I wasn't really paying attention to them. At this point, I was like paying attention to the children. They were kind of, having this, like this disagreement kind of thing. They were just these little kids going, complaining with each other. And then they all come out from the kitchen and they go into the living room. And then again, they block the doorway of the living room, and I cannot see anything that is happening in the living room. They then like part and to reveal what they were doing in the living room. And in the living room, it was like this little, it wasn't even little because it was bigger than I thought it would be. It just looked old school. It looked like an old school kind of lamp, right? But it's, I cannot describe this thing, but it was almost like a lamp. You know what? Let me call it like a lamp, or like, when they used to make those little TVs, which were round, but they were like obviously small. They were on a stand and then they were round. It almost looked like that. So as they part and they reveal this thing, I missed out something, didn't I? Oh, let me go back because I was talking about the atmosphere about they don't know if Russia or Iran did it. And so when he came to me, just go back really quickly. When he came to me, he said, "Oh, do you believe, or either do you believe or don't believe all this that they're saying that Bibi did this?" And obviously, we all know who Bibi is, right? Talking about the Benjamin Netanyahu, right? Who calls him Bibi? Is it Trump that calls him Bibi? Yeah, Trump calls him Bibi. This is what David was saying. Do you believe or don't believe what they're saying, or that Bibi did it? And I said to him, well, if Bibi, because Bibi is what's supposed to be an ally to the UK, basically, right? And I said to him, you know what? With the way things are in the world right now, it wouldn't surprise me. So it's not that I don't believe or I do believe. I just like I am not into it like that, but I know that it wouldn't surprise me. When we talk about false flags, etc., 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 right? Anyway, so now they revealed this thing, and then I ask him, "What is that?" And it tells me, "Oh, that's it's like a basically." I'm trying to think back exactly what he said, but basically it was like surveillance. And it said, "Oh, and it will let us know if you're in trouble. If anything happens, it will let us know, and that we can come and save you." Now, I felt very uneasy because I was like, I just let them in here, and they have just put surveillance up in my home, right? Now, for me personally, something when I came out of this vision and kind of praying on it, there was a part where it was like, are you leaning on your own understanding? Or I like almost like I'm not really hearing or understanding what you are showing me or telling me. However, I'm still praying on it, but I'm just putting this out there for you. Again, let Yahweh reveal to you what he's going to reveal to you. So I was a bit like, oh man, they just put surveillance in here. So I just thought to myself, you know what? We won't really go in the living room, right? We'll kind of keep out of there. Then I kind of make a joke about, oh, can I just, if I'm bored, can I just call and talk to somebody? And they laugh and they're like, it was a silly joke, but I was like, oh, I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to hold up the line. But yeah. So then as he's leaving, so as I finish that, he's like, okay, you can turn the water back on now. So they had turned my water off, and then they turned it back on again once this thing had been installed. Again, in the vision, it was like, oh, were they going to keep the water off until I allowed them to do that thing? Or was it just a case of we need to take it off to then put it back on again? And again, once I'm in my waking life and looking up the name David, you know what I mean? It was like, was I leaning on my own understanding and my own fears in the vision rather than really being attentive and hearing what Yahweh is saying and what he's revealing? Anyway, so as they're leaving, he says to me, David again, he says to me, okay, so just so you know, something about the roads, there's going to be closures or there's going to be disruption. And he says like for about 2 weeks or something like that. That's what he said. So I was like, okay. And I don't really kind of know how I came out or whatnot, but I just remember waking up, coming out of it. I looked around and I was like, nah, no way that was a vision. No, no way that didn't happen. Although I was very, 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 very grateful that it was. I did forget something. When we were in the house and it was just after we got in and we closed all the windows and the vents, I remember thinking to myself, darn it, I knew I should have gone and done my shopping beforehand. Like we had stuff in the house, but I was like, I don't think we have enough. I need to go and buy some more things. But the only access I'm going to have now is the corner shop. Again, talking about my mum's house, there's a shop up the hill. And again, it's a corner shop. But I was like, okay, I have some cash. I have to just go and get what I can get. I don't really have any options regarding it. I'm just going to get what I can get. But I was gutted that I didn't take the opportunity when I could to go and get the stuff that I know we would need. Because again, the vibe is that we're not going to be leaving the house. We're not going to be able to leave the house. Okay. So that was that. Now, let me go to the dream on the 7th. Now, on the dream on the 7th of March, 26, we were at my uncle's house. My uncle, his name is Charles. Now, the house we were at isn't where they actually live now, and it seemed more London based. They live outside of London as well. They live outside of London. So again, it's kind of back to this London thing. Or well, this was the first time the London thing came up. Anyway, with my mom and my brothers. Not the usual house. It's an unknown place, but I've been there before. So I probably have a dream or something when I was there before. Now, I didn't see my mom, my brothers, or my uncle, but it was like they were there. I was outside with my brothers. It was daytime. It was sunshine. I was outside with them and I'm looking at the sky. And I've had a lot of dreams basically when I've been shown such things, I'm always looking at the sky. And looking at the sky, I see these red dots. And I'd seen these red dots in a previous vision where I was shown outside these different things were happening in the sky. And again, I was at my mum's house. They were happening in the sky, and there were signs one by one by one by one by one until eventually, boom, the big thing came and disruption, and chaos broke loose. Anywho, seeing these red dots in the sky, and I'm like, hang on a minute, I saw those last time. That's a sign something's about to happen. I keep looking, and then I see things falling. Bombs are falling, and I shout, it's starting, get in the house. For me, it was that it's starting, get in the house. Now again, get in the house. And as we're getting in the house, I see the house next door gets hit. And I see the car flying, but obviously it doesn't hit me or anything, but it kind of flying towards me, but it doesn't hit me. And I'm like, get in the house, it's starting, get in the house. We get in the house. And as we're getting in the house, I'm praying that Yahweh, it doesn't matter what hits us around or what hits close by, because in you, I know we have our protection. So protect this house and protect all who are in it. So once we get in, I'm like, I told you guys, I told you, I told you, I told you, and it's starting, it's starting. And my mum was like, what's happening? What's starting? Blah, blah, blah. And then now here is the whole window thing again. I opened up a door to check if it was locked. And then it wasn't locked. And I opened it and I just felt the heat and the atmosphere of like destruction, if that makes sense. And I'm like, everybody, make sure all the doors are closed and locked, and close all the windows and close all the curtains. That was the instruction. Had to close all the doors, lock them, and close all the windows and close the curtains. Now it was to close the curtains because I knew that there were things in the sky that were going to be hovering around, you know, moving around and trying to see what's happening inside the houses. So it was a case of if your curtains are closed, they cannot peer in, they cannot see what is happening in your house. I don't go upstairs to check the bathroom, and I've been in this bathroom before, but it had like really high ceilings. The windows were so high up, I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to get to those windows. I don't know how anybody can, so I don't think they're open because they're too high up. So carry on, kind of doing all that stuff, and then I go into my cousin's room, and her name is Abigail, and Abigail is my uncle's daughter. So Abigail is Uncle Charles's daughter. So we're all in her room. Well, I'm in her room, and I tell everybody, make sure you keep the curtains closed. And I'm kind of peering out every now and then, and every time I'm kind of looking out, looking at the window, seeing what's happening in the skies, I'm just seeing these aircrafts. There are so many aircrafts. There's like really this big aircraft, not like a plane or anything like that. A big aircraft is black, and then you have these little ones which are like drones, I guess, but they're just kind of moving around very, very slowly. And it's like, just, you know, you look, and if you're going to look, just make sure that you then close the curtains again. And while in this house, all these other people would then come in, and they were coming into where we were, which was Abigail's room. And these are people that I do not know, but one by one, it's like they were making their way and they were joining us to take refuge in this place, in this room. And it's like, it was like a meeting place. It was a set meeting place, and everybody, when they could, they were just coming in one by one. And one by one, they were coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, and coming in. So I believe that is that concerning what is for the... Oh my goodness, I'm hungry. I hope you didn't hear that. Concerning everybody. And in terms of the ages of these people, like the ones I saw, they seem to be like younger than me. I would say late tweens, late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, that kind of age. That's what they appear to be. Maybe even late 20s, because people look so young these days. You can never really tell sometimes, can you? But oh goodness, I just feel so nauseous. So yeah, that is those dreams concerning that. Now, I would like to say you don't have to obviously believe, you don't have to follow, you don't have to necessarily, if you don't feel to do anything, but I'm warning you to do something. I'm warning you, and for you to take this back to the Heavenly Father, who is the giver of dreams and visions. He's the one that knows all. He's the one that has given me this warning. And I'll tell you now, I'm taking heed. I'm taking heed, and I'm asking him, what do I need to do? And one thing I've realized is that a lot of the time I do lean on my own understanding, and I kind of do, okay, let me go watch a prepper channel and see, you know what I mean? But I'm like, he knows what's happening. So I want him to tell me, what do I need to do? What do I need to get? If he can narrow this down even better, I ask him, like, can you give me a day? Can you give me a, you know, like when I need to be staying home? However, because of what he's shown me, and I know that he pre-warns his people, and he lets us know, so that then we are prepared, we are ready, and then when it comes, we are not in fear, we are not scared, we are not running crazy, we are not, you know, joining in the madness and the chaos. And I'll say this thing, like in both dreams, I was not scared. Considering what was happening, I was not scared. I think I'm getting sick. But that's okay. Yahweh is my healer. Yahweh is my healer. He will heal me. I'll just start taking some medication now. But yeah, sorry. So I'm gonna sound a bit... I feel so congested just all of a sudden. Um So yeah, I wasn't scared. I wasn't running around crazy. It's like I also knew what to do. And but the fact that the main thing that I did was about doors, windows, and curtains, I know that that's obviously very, very important. And again, just making sure that you have extra food. And this isn't about like having like, you know, your own shop. It's not about that. It's just about being ready, being prepared so that when everyone's running crazy and trying to get things, you're not amongst the chaos and the panic, right? He did not give us a spirit of fear, but the spirit of um a spirit of peace, love, and a sound mind. That's the spirit that he's given us. But he pre-warns us and we have to act. And I must say that a part of me has felt like I've been putting things off thinking I have time, because again, financially for me, my situation has really changed. And so things that I kind of was doing before, I'm unable to do now. However, it's like you gotta prioritize. He's told you what to do. So now, what sacrifices are you willing to make for now to make sure that you're in line with his will and you're in line and doing what he's called you to do? But again, ask him, what do I need to do? And everyone's situation and circumstance is different. Where we all live and where we all at, it's different. So it's a question of what do I need, Abaya? Because everyone will generally do what they think they should generally do. But if he's speaking to you, he'll tell you, listen, my dad tells me. My daddy tells me. And the word says, if you ask and you have faith and you believe, it shall be given. And if you ask and you know he will answer you, he will answer you. Will it come when you want? Well, most likely not. Will it come sometimes randomly? Yes, my answers usually come so randomly. But you have to be open to him. You have to be seeking him. You have to be willing to sit with him. And sit with him and be like, Dad, I know like you're the only one that can get me through this. You know. So Father, what do I need? What do I need to know? And he'll, yeah, obviously we prophesy apart, right? We all know that. Scripture tells us we prophesy apart. We don't know everything. We won't know everything. But whatever he's given you, in faith, walk with it. In faith, take it, take heed, apply it. Be proactive in it. So this is my message. This is my warning. I am warning you all. And not from a place of fear, just from a place of this is what he's given me. And let me tell you, I don't know how soon it is, but I don't think it's far away. I think that it is sooner than we realize. So one thing for me is that I'm really taking stock and taking caution and really being mindful about, you know, how I'm spending, what I'm doing and how I'm just, you know, what I have in my house so that if I have to stay there with my girl for a while, we are good. We are sorted. We as his children, we do not lack. But you know what? When we don't listen to our dad, when we don't listen to our father, you know, our parents, right? That's when we find ourselves in difficult situations, in sticky situations, because we don't listen. Our issue is we don't listen. We think we know it all. And that's what I love about being a mum is that I get to see now really like kids just be thinking they know everything. Kids be thinking that they have it. Yeah, they know. They have it, you know, all planned out. They have it all figured out and they know jack. You know what I mean? So now I apply that to me as his child and I'm like, I know nothing. I think I know when people think they genuinely know, but we don't. We don't. We seek the Father and we trust him because we know that he is so good. He is holy and he loves like no other. So that's where our trust is. We trust in him and only him. So family, I pray that this reaches you well. And if Yah has been speaking to you about anything, please do share. I think many times, one thing for me is I've been very scared to share because I'm like, oh, what if, you know, people think I'm crazy or blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you got to be bold for Yahweh. You have to be bold for him. You either with him or you don't. You either gather or you scatter, right? That's what Yahweh Shai said. If you either with me or you're not with me, right? You're either gathering with me or you are scattering. So if you're not gathering, you're scattering. So I am not afraid to speak about what he's shown me. I'm not afraid to say that I believe him. I trust him fully, and you know all that good stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know if he's shown you anything, because I would love to know. All right, family. Until the next one, I need to go now. And yeah, I'll sort out my sort out my nose and stuff. But yeah, this has been a very interesting, you know, transition. So yeah, enjoy. Shalom, everybody. Yahweh bless you all. Bye.